If you want to build a 7-figure online business, I'm going to give you the top 5 softwares that you're going to be using right now, and maybe even more than 5 if you stick around to the end of this video. So with that being said, let's hop right into it. And if you're a coach or consultant or online service provider, even in the e-com space, there's going to be some softwares that I recommend all around that are going to help you. Softwares are not the end-all be-all in your business, but they definitely help you become more efficient, more communicative, and you get to streamline your processes as you scale. A lot about scaling is about not just your team being more efficient, but your time being more efficient, your calendar being more efficient, and your actual product itself not just being better, but more productized and streamlined. So let's get into this. So number one thing that we use is Monday.com. Okay, Monday.com is for project management. A lot of people use ClickUp. I'm going to be honest, at the scale that we're at, ClickUp just could not keep up with us. So Monday.com is good for your project management. Okay, also, if you go to the enterprise plan, which we pay for, which is like $48,000 a year, you get a lot of KPI tracking. Okay, you can have multiple dashboards for multiple things. Like we track down to literally our pods and our teams inside of our business, how much revenue they're generating, how much revenue they have to collect, how much ascensions they have, how many referrals they have to obtain, like all of these KPIs that keep them accountable, right? And that helps us streamline things. Also, there's APIs that we send to Google Data Studio. Google Data Studio is more for my, 8-figure, 9-figure businesses that are watching this video. Google Data Studio allows you to connect multiple softwares to it and basically intricate data across the board. So if a certain person takes longer on a certain task versus somebody else, but they're more revenue driven, like we can find that out. Or revenue per call versus salespeople, and then reporting back to Google Sheets and then back and forth. So Monday.com is definitely the number one software. It is the most expensive, but it is the best. And that's what I've seen with most softwares. When they're really expensive, they usually are the best. Second software is going to be GoHighLevel, or as other people call it, HighLevel. Doesn't matter what you call it. GoHighLevel is definitely number 2. This is for our onboarding. This is for our systems to start, because let's be real here, sales starts the journey, onboarding creates the process. So as soon as they get sold, now we have systems to then say, hey, if they have X tag of X program, these texts and these emails go out to them. Once this onboarding form's complete, then that info is zapped to Monday. What do I mean by zap? That's going to be the third app that we get into, which is Zapier. So we use GoHighLevel for onboarding systems to start the actual journey as soon as they spend money. Also, this is for our sales team. Okay. Also, enter texting. We have multiple phone numbers for every single team member so that we can see all the text messages between strategy lead and client. So there's no like personal phones being used. On top of that, we use that for calendars. As far as some people on our team, we like to use Calendly versus GoHighLevel. Personally, if the onboarding is in GoHighLevel, then keep the calendars there too, because it's easier to cross-reference time zone and also all the tags and then your pipeline management of where that client is inside of the product journey. So that would be number 2. Third is Zapier. Okay, Zapier is huge for us because we have so many apps. So this is really like about connecting like multiple softwares. Okay, we're just going to put SaaS. Connecting multiple softwares. Okay. If you have Monday and SendBlue and all these other apps I'm going to go over in this video, and Slack and all this stuff, you got to find a way to connect all of them and make sure they all work together, because not every single one is integratable. Like Monday.com has an app store where you can integrate Slack into it, but there's other apps that you use that need APIs and webhooks, which I'll get into. But Zapier, hands down, is going to be one of the most expensive things that you do buy, and it connects multiple softwares to if-and filters. Like we have if-and filters to where if a book call puts this word in one of the boxes, we cancel the call. If a client puts X thing into the onboarding form, we deny it and make them re-upload it. Like all these things that are if-and filters. It connects multiple apps, okay, at scale. Allows conditions. And this is something that I really want to bring up, because sometimes when we're productizing things, we don't want to have a ton of conditions inside of our business or inside of our onboarding or start of our product journey. If we allow conditions, there's something called Six Sigma. Okay, it's X amount of defects per million. You're gonna have very rare cases where certain conditions will be met, or someone buys a custom thing, or whatever that looks like. That is not just a reflection of what you should be offering, but it's a reflection of, hey, are my systems actually built to give custom things when people want to spend money with me? So it allows conditions of, hey, if someone were to ever do X, this thing would happen. You always want to think about that worst case scenario or that if and scenario. That's gonna help you out at scale too. 3 is gonna be triggers. Okay, and then the 4th is going to be organization of this. So this lets you say organized across apps. Like literally you can attach multiple apps in one trigger. So if the trigger is person onboards, okay, now I can add that email to ActiveCampaign, and then I can add the contact to GoHighLevel, and then I can add the contact to Slack, and then I can set up this custom email and ActiveCampaign. Like I can do all these things based off a trigger. And then the organization is what literally you have to sit there and go, hey, once step 1 happens, what does step 2 look like? What does step 3 look like? What does step 4 look like? How is this streamlined more inside of the business? And that's going to be a massive benefit to you. So that is number 3. Number 4 is going to be Slack. Okay. Slack is mostly for communication. Also, it's for legal, and I'll get into that in a second. 3 is apps can integrate. Okay. Also, you can store SOPs here. We also use Trainual, but I'm not going to harp too much on that because we kind of just built it into Slack instead. But Trainual is how you basically train employees to have SOPs. We can store them in Slack too, inside of channels. So with Slack, we can communicate with clients. Okay, team members. Okay, we're just going to put MEM dot. Legal. If a client says, hey, this thing didn't happen, we can go into Slack and literally find it and be like, hey, it happened. So it's mostly there for proof. Okay, also, what do we do inside of the client's chats? Their onboarding call recordings get sent to them. Their onboarding slides get sent to them. Their agreements get sent to them so that there is no discrepancies or miscommunications. Okay, the 3rd is that your apps can integrate. So if you have Calendly, if you have Monday, if you have all these things, let's say something happens in Monday, you can then do a trigger and say, hey, if this task gets completed in Monday, send this thing to this channel. And you can pull the info right from the Monday task and then it gets dropped right into Slack accordingly. 4th is store SOPs. Like I was saying before, we used to use Trainual to train employees and put them in, but like, to be honest, it just added another layer, right, of friction. And like, we love softwares because they help us be more efficient, but sometimes too many softwares is not actually a good thing. We're overloading, we're overwhelming, we're actually just like basically choking the team members because there's just so many freaking softwares. So we decided to store SOPs inside of Slack. So each department will have these things pinned to their channel so that they can be more efficient and find things faster, because most of the time when they're communicating with clients, they want to stay in the same app to get deliverables and standards of procedures. So that's where, you know, we decided to implement that within Slack. Number 5 is SendBlue. Okay. SendBlue is a really cool software. We're actually partnered with them now. Basically, what this allows us to do is no more green texts. Okay. And this is for sales. And this is also for fulfillment. So as soon as someone books a call, we're able to put them right into a concierge group chat using blue text. It loops in multiple team members. It looks very professional. It's a very good first impression to know that we have our shit together and that you could work with us because we can implement this for you too. And that did increase our show rates drastically. Also, it increases close rates because if your business is in a competitive niche and you don't have like a good first impression, they could just go somewhere else. They know they have options. So you really have to single yourself out and make sure there's differentiation in the sales process. And that was massively important for us. So SendBlue, there's no more green text. Okay, this is for your sales team and fulfillment. Okay, so you can give them multiple phone numbers in there. It's very affordable. I have a team of 50. I think I spend like $2,800 a month. Okay, show rates go up. We had about a 20% hike, give or take. And then close rates are going to go up. Obviously, if your show rate's 20% higher, your sales are going to go up 20%, which we have seen. Those are direct correlation of each other. Okay, so that is number 5. Number 6 is going to be SalesApe. Okay, this is a AI sales agent. Okay, what do I mean by this? Let's say you have, and this is just an example of ours right now, is that we have 59,000 leads. in GHO. Okay. We don't have a big ass call center. We have 2 to 3 setters. Okay. We have 4 to 5 salespeople. If we have that many leads in GoHighLevel, how many of them are past like the 30-day mark? A lot of them, probably like 56,000 plus, are past 30 days. Okay. And obviously, as you contact leads faster, they're going to be able to come to the sales cycle and obviously convert faster. So what do we do with all these 56,000 people? We could sit here and say, oh yeah, just do more retargeting ads. Just do this. Just send more emails. Okay, yeah, those things are cool, but I would rather have this SalesApe actually reach out and engage, like actually have a real conversation with them. Go back and forth. And this SalesApe will learn your product through uploading pitch decks, YouTube videos, sales calls, keynotes, speeches that I have, podcasts, and be able to know everything about the product. It takes all your Stripe data, all these things, like you upload it all, and now your SalesApe knows, hey, I know the product, I know the turnaround times, I know the onboarding, I know the agreement, I know everything. So with that being said, now the SalesApe can now have back and forth email and text conversations on AI, replying very quickly, by the way, to be able to reach out and say, hey, it's been 40 days since we talked to you. Have you chosen somebody yet? And now the SalesApe has freaking hundreds of email threads of just communicating with prospective people who haven't bought anything in a while, or haven't bought at all, or booked a call, didn't show up, etc. So that would be number 6 that we use. Okay, next one is number 7, which we're just getting started with, which is called RevRing AI. Same thing. Okay, it's an AI sales agent, but it is voice clone and it calls. So SalesApe is email and text. RevRing is just calls. So what are we also going to do? These 56,000 leads I talked about before, we are going to call them with this AI, and we're actually replicating my CEO's fiance's voice. So this is like really badass. So this is now going to be able to call the 56,000 leads, and be able to reactivate, re-engage, and it can take your Calendly link or whatever and literally ask them the qualifying questions and book them on the calendar. Like it's literally a real person, but it's voice cloned. And you just got to upload like an hour of footage of somebody or 10 to 15 minutes of voices, and it will be able to do it. So if you just have like a good docile lady voice and you have them speak for like 5 to 10 minutes of the videos, like maybe your video sales script or your sales script in general, maybe have door knocking, I don't know, but you have it just basically regurgitate it, upload to a voice memo to Slack, and you just send it over to them and they can use it to voice clone and use the same tonality and verbiage and terminology. So it's badass. RevRing's been awesome. So we're very excited about rolling that out even further. Okay, number 8 is ActiveCampaign. ActiveCampaign is where we host email blasts. Okay, if you're wondering, well, Wojo, you use GoHighLevel, why are you not using that? At the scale we're at, ActiveCampaign is hands down very, very tough to send out email blasts of over 5,000 people. Like it's better deliverability on the ActiveCampaign side. Better deliverability, better segmentation. Okay, also like just for branding reasons, like better footers on your emails. Like we have a really cool footer on our emails because we use ActiveCampaign. Looks more professional. So we use ActiveCampaign to store all of our marketing-based emails. GoHighLevel is really just about automations, right? Automations, lead nurtures, things that only last a couple days. And then after that, it's mostly ActiveCampaign 95% of the time. So 9 is going to be payment processors. Okay. As you scale your business, you need to be able to mediate risk. Okay. So you can't just have all of your payment processors or all your payments running through one processor. No. So we use Easy Pay Direct. We use Stripe. We use NMI. These are 3 processors that you could spread the risk. You know, with us doing $1 million a month, you know, we're putting, you know, $400K here, you know, $500K here, another $300K here. Like we're trying to spread our risk as much as possible, because if we put too much on one and the whole thing gets shut down, it's just tough that way. So payment processor, like to mediate our risk and do that. And number 10 is WAP. Okay. We use WAP for payments for our events. Okay. Also, there's this really cool feature. Okay. And it's called clipping. Okay, so let's say you have a big personal brand and you're watching this. We're able to get video editors to come into our WAP group. It's free, and they can edit your videos for you and only get paid on X video views. There's no more paying like $15 a video, or some people charge $50 a video. Like, those days are over. They can join your contest giveaway, and right now we're paying $2 per 1K views. So if they post a video using your content and they make a fan page, we're incentivizing them like, hey, listen, we're gonna pay you $2 per 1K views. And one of my friends, I know him very well, TJR, he runs this whole model on WAP right now, and he's got, he's spending 20K a month on this platform, getting over 10-20 million views a month. Like, it is badass. It tracks all the views, so you don't have to look at the video links yourself. It tracks all the views, checks for spam views. Like, it's a very cool way to get your organic off the ground and start building like that whole Andrew Tate angle or Iman Gadzhi angle. So that's what else we're using for clipping to help the personal brand out and really streamline things to just get more impressions and get more reach around the industry. We will push everybody to YouTube because long form content wins. So hope this was insightful for you. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. If you have any questions about these softwares, please put them down below. I'll be happy to answer them, and I will see you in the next video.